What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of From the Sidelines. I'm Cullen Mac.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio.
We've got an action-packed episode. We've got explosions. We've got cars. We've got VFX coming at you in 4K.
Take us to the scene, Cullen. What do you see while you're there?
I see lots of trades and free agent acquisitions and big things happening in the MLB.
A ton of records are being set as well.
Yeah, let's bring you right down to the action.
Good. Daniel DiMaggio live from Major League Baseball down on the diamond. Starting with the Dodgers and their DH, Shohei Ohtani. He also pitches as well, but that's an afterthought.
That's next year.
Because he's the first player in MLB history to record a 43-43 season of 43 home runs and 43 stolen bases. An oddly specific stat, but an oddly specific stat that no one has reached before.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is playing out of his mind. That's why I'm wearing his jersey today. Showtime, Shohei in LA. Showtime in LA is back, baby. The 1-7 is rocking it. It feels like he's averaging a base and a home run every game now. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, if he gets to 50-50 on the season, that would be incredible. Seems like, there's like 30 games left, so
50-50.
He's probably going to get it, most likely. But, dude, I am excited.
Yeah.
Every time this guy steps up to the plate, you're on the edge of your seat because you know something big's going to happen. I just want to say, I think if he does reach 50-50, he's all but a lock for MVP.
In the NL, for sure.
I would think so.
It's a good thing that there's an AL and an NL MVP, because otherwise he'd lose to the guy I'm going to mention at this moment, Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, leading Major League Baseball. That means more than Ohtani. Home runs, RBIs, everything except average. If he has home runs, RBIs, and he gets the average from Bobby Witt, that will give him the requirements for the Triple Crown. And I mean, you want to talk about who's having the better season, who will have the better season between Shohei and Judge? If Judge gets the Triple Crown, give it to him. He has the best season.
If he gets the Triple Crown, I think it's all but said and done that, yeah, he's had the better season. I think for the sake of the argument, I know you're probably going to go Judge.
Easily.
I'm going to say Shohei. I mean, what he's doing is impressive, especially at his size. I mean, the guy is a monster out there. He can squat, I believe, like 500 pounds. He's crushing tanks and also stealing bags like it's taking candy from a baby. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what he's doing out there. I mean, I think if he was still pitching, I would say he's having the better season than Judge. But what he's doing right now with a Dodger team that has been, pretty roughed up, he was really the only guy on the team for a little bit really producing, and he's really kept them afloat.
Well, now he's got every security blanket imaginable in Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman.
Except for some pitchers.
And Will Smith. Well, then take that one up with the organization, because, it seems that you guys have as many injured pitchers as there are 7-Elevens in America.
Yeah.
So that's a you problem.
Speaking of security blankets, he also has Kike with glasses.
Oh, yeah. Kike. I forgot about him. So, I mean, tomato, I'm going to go with Judge. He's going to go Ohtani. I'd like to hear what they have to say. Ohtani or Judge for the people at home.
To your point with Judge, I will say he's been having a stellar season.
Dude.
Barry Bonds-esque season.
Without the roids?
Without the roids, I believe the last four guys to have the numbers that the last four guys to have the numbers that Aaron Judge is having this season were all named Barry Bonds.
Really?
So it's amazing what he's doing. I believe we were talking about it the other day off the show in our weekly From the Sidelines meetings about how great of a season that Juan Soto's having, but because of Aaron Judge's season, he's just kind of he's overshadowing Soto.
He's in Judge's shadow.
Yeah.
Juan Shadow.
Okay,
anyway. Let's move on to the New York Mets and the best shortstop in baseball at the moment.
Bobby
Henderson.
Witt
And Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
God, it just seems like Lindor's never the best shortstop in baseball, is he? Because there's always someone better than him. But if I don't know, man. This year he became the first shortstop in MLB history to have 3 seasons of 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases. Look, he has never been an all-star as a Met, which is an ultimate disgrace. I think Philly fans would agree with me, Braves fans would agree with me, that he should have been an all-star with the Mets. If not this year, then definitely in 2022. The guy's incredible. And he just achieved a 30 home run season this year. He's living up to his contract. He leads by example. I've completely shat on him before. Yes, bleep. I've completely shat on him before on this show, and boy has he made me regret it.
Is this the Lindor apology video? Is this what this is turning into?
It's the Lindor apology segment for sure, because boy has he proved me wrong. And ever since we slid him to that leadoff spot, he has been nothing but magic.
Let me wipe that tear away from you. I know you're crying over him. It's okay.
All right, buddy.
One thing I wanted to say, going back to Aaron Judge, do you think he's going to break that Yankees home run record again?
You mean the record that Aaron Judge set? 62 home runs?
Yeah, do you think he's going to break it again?
That's a really good question.
I mean, what, he's got 51 right now, 30 games left?
You know what? I'll aboard the Judge train. I already said he's better than Ohtani this year. Why not just go out on a whim and say he's going to hit more than 62 home runs? I say 65.
All right. 65. I'm going to say he's going to break it by one. I'm going to say 63. Just for the sake of... I'm going to price his right.
I don't know.
All right, well, Washington Nationals call up outfielder Dylan Cruz. You may remember him as the second best player on LSU after Mr. Paul Skeens.
Right.
This guy was great. You know, they're continuing the trend of calling up their young talent. I believe in his first at-bat, he had a double. So, way to go, Dylan Cruz.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, they call up Cruz. They've called up C.J. Abrams and Wood as well.
What's his name? James Wood.
Yeah.
What is he, 6'7"? And
Not to be confused with James Woods, the actor.
Actor.
Totally different guy.
Totally different guy. Totally different personality.
If you hear the crickets, that's not for the joke. It landed, okay? The people are laughing.
The crickets are out and well early today.
All right, well, that wraps up the MLB. Let's get right into the action. The NFL is about to start this week. First game is this Thursday. It's going to be the Chiefs versus the Ravens. But before we start the season, let's talk about some big news in the AFC West. Bo Nix was officially named the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos this week by Mr. Sean Payton. There was definitely two sides of reactions to this big announcement. You have the guy like
Here,
Jared.
I'll do it for you.
Who do you want to be?
I'll be Zach Wilson.
You'll be Zach Wilson. I'm Jared Stidham. Okay, you go good reaction first.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta be honest. Bo Nix is right for this. He's right for this, and ultimately, look, I'm disappointed as any human would be, but like, I think Bo Nix is good for this job, and he deserved the starting spot, and I'm in full support of him this season and as his backup. So, congrats to Bo Nix. I need to go grab those cookies from the MILF.
Thank you for that. Did you title that Skit, MILF, and Cookies?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll be Jared Stidham. No good, son. I'm a starting quarterback in this league. Do you hear me? Sean Payton, Roger Goodell. I can start on any team I want to.
No, I think we heard you, Jarrett, with the Patriots and the Raiders. We heard you. You just didn't make much noise.
I'm a starting quarterback. Mark my words. Mark Vientos, my words.
Mark Vientos, my words.
Cullen
Let's pop up a photo over his face.
Cullen Mac Vientos.
Cullen Mac. Who's the real imposter? Cullen McCarthy playing Jared Stidham, or Jared Stidham thinking he's a starting quarterback? I mean,
Imposter
come on.
syndrome
Let's
for
move on to
real,
the next one. Let's talk about the Chiefs agreeing to a 4-year, $72 million deal for their starting all-pro, I'm pretty sure, center, Creed Humphrey. Yeah. He makes Pat Mahomes feel very comfortable. So, yeah, I mean, you wonder why Pat Mahomes is so good. It's because he's Pat Mahomes, but also because he's got time in the pocket to throw with guys like Joe Tooney, with the best center in the league with Creed Humphrey.
Do you think in the contract room, Creed Humphrey...
Juwan Taylor.
Do you think Creed Humphrey was singing Creed? He was like, can you take it higher?
100%.
Contract.
Or Creed. Creed's also a manscaping brand, too, I'm pretty sure. Or Cologne. We'll put it up top. I think it's Cologne.
We're not sponsored by Creed.
Boy, are we getting distracted. Anyway, great deal for the Chiefs. Underrated signing. Also getting rid of Kadarius Toney. Wow. Water is wet.
All right.
Next.
Well, let's talk about another signing. The Falcons have been just shelling out the dollars this year.
Have.
They've been making it rain. Let's talk about...
The Falcons.
Falcons, yeah. Talk about cornerback. You know, I think... one of the best cornerbacks, definitely top 5 in the league. Starting cornerback for the Falcons, A.J. Terrell, signed a 4-year, $81 million extension, making him the second highest paid corner in the league. second to Mr. Jair Alexander in the Green Bay Packers. A very well-deserved contract. I mean, you loaded up your secondary and you bolstered your defense with all these signings. Why not make the best player on your defense stay there a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they're making it. Yeah.
Another extension, CeeDee Lamb became the second highest paid non-quarterback to play football ever. He signed a
Jesus.
4-year, $136 million extension that comes out to about $34 million a year.
Who's the highest paid?
I think it's Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. Wow.
Yeah. So that means Jamar wants to beat CD by 2 cents.
Well, and if I'm a football family at home and I have kids in high school, you better be putting them out wide than behind the line at running back, because the wide receivers get paid so much more money than the running backs. It's ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah.
Unless you're Christian McCaffrey. And even Saquon Barkley had to bargain for that huge contract. He had to bargain. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just a different game now. It's a passing league.
It really is.
Another big transaction that happened was the Washington Commanders officially traded third-year wide receiver Jahan Dotson to the Eagles. So the Eagles have now bolstered their already packed offense. I mean, they have Saquon, they have A.J. Brown, and now they have Jahan Dotson, not to mention Devontae Smith.
Where's DeAndre Swift?
Swift is on the Bears.
But he used to be on the Eagles.
He was on the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, this offense is stacked. If Jalen Hurts doesn't have a stellar year this year, I mean...
Goddard's still their tight end?
He's still there. I mean, you just got to look at him to blame, I think. If he doesn't
Jalen Hurts?
If he doesn't have a stellar year this year...
100%.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
That offense is loaded. That's a sick offense. But Jahan Dotson's a number 2 on any other team.
Let's not... Hey, Jalen Hurts he made it to the Super Bowl in 2022.
He did. And then last year, I mean, I know he was hurt, but he had...
I think Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback, because every time we talk about him, it's always like, can he do it or not?
Yeah.
So he must be pretty good if we're putting all this pressure on him. That's all I'll say.
Well, anyway. I wanted to pose you a question. Bill Belichick, it is rumored that he will be returning to coaching next year, pending on basically what coaching job opens up. So where do you think Bill Belichick will be coaching next year?
This day and age, probably Hofstra or Hartford University. No.
Well, in the NFL.
I don't think it'll be as a head coach.
I think it's a head coach.
I think it would probably be as a defensive coordinator.
No way.
I don't think he's going to get a head coaching position in the NFL. I think coaches are becoming younger and younger every day. Just look at Kyle Shanahan. Look at Zach Taylor. Look at Sean McVay. I'm not trying to be an ageist, but I think Belichick's ship has sailed as the head coach.
So
never forget
the
that.
answer to the question, Bill Belichick is going to
be a defensive coordinator for the Houston Texans.
Interesting. Really interesting take. Honestly, dude, I would love to see Bill Belichick on the Eagles.
As a head coach?
As a head coach. I just said we got to look at Jalen Hurts, but I think maybe we even look at Nick Sirianni. If things don't go well this year for the Eagles, let's say Nick Sirianni's out, Bill Belichick gets to coach a monster of a defense in Philly. That defense is stacked.
Insane.
And, Bill Belichick has always wanted a running quarterback. That's why he went out and got Cam that one year. He loves the ability to, pick up those tough yards. And, dude, the tush push? Are you kidding me? That sounds like the Bill Belichick, trademark written all over it. That's going to be a crazy offense when Bill Belichick coaches there next year. Mark my words from the Sidelines viewers.
Oh, Bill Belichick.
All right, well...
He never wants to retire.
Let's, I think we got one more segment for NFL.
We're going to name our top 5 favorite names in football, and we'll just go back and forth. I'll start with my first one. Chop Robinson on the Miami Dolphins. I think he played at Penn State. He's a linebacker. Chop coming over the middle. Hey, can you just pork chop your way right through the defense? That's an incredible name. Come on.
I'm going to go with cornerback currently on the San Francisco 49ers. He played at Temple. His name is Rock Ya-Sin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he'll rock your world.
That's good. I like that one.
One.
I forgot about him. I'll do another cornerback. We're staying in Miami. Something about those Dolphins. Cornerback Storm Duck. You've got the Storm, and then you've got a Duck.
Do you know where he went to college?
I don't.
He should have went to Oregon.
Oregon, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. This one's a little bit of a bias because of his nickname is C-Mac. I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. That's just a dope name.
You like the name? But you like the nickname.
I like the nickname a little bit
like the
better.
nickname.
But yeah, Christian McCaffrey, why not?
How about a running back out of Jacksonville? And when you hear his name, you're like, he should only be a running back. Tank Bigsby.
Yeah.
Yo, Tank, run over that muck and get Bigsby on him. Come
Yo,
on.
Tank, tote the rock.
Yeah, babe.
All right, I'm going to go another one. I'm going to say his real name, and then I'll say his nickname. He plays for the Saints. He's a cornerback. His real name is Quincy McKinstry, also known as Kool-Aid McKinstry. Out of
I didn't know that.
Alabama.
I thought Kool-Aid was his name.
No, that's his nickname. It's
Wow,
Quincy.
that's good.
Or JaQuincy, something like that.
Kool-Aid's a really good one. I forgot about him. I didn't make it to the Saints roster. Good one. I'm going to take another cornerback, one of my favorites, L'Jarius Sneed. You really use all of your vowels and like all your whole jaw saying L'Jarius Sneed. Something about it. Just when you hear that name, you're like, that guy's pressing people at the line.
All right, I'm going to go with this guy. I'm surprised you didn't pick this guy. Linebacker out of Ohio State, currently a free agent, was on the Patriots roster until he got cut due to some training camp cuts. How do you not know this guy? Steel Chambers.
Oh, Steel
That is
Chambers.
sick. What a sick name,
Yeah.
dude. He should
That's
be a
incredible.
cornerback, but he's a linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
I like Steel Chambers. That's
Please,
a sick name.
someone pick him up. Someone put him on their team. Steel, that's an incredible name. I always thought it was a great name. How about my last guy, linebacker for the Dallas Mavericks, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, DeMarvion Overshawn. Something about it. I don't know. I like it.
Okay, I'm going to go with the guy who I think has the best name in football. Wide receiver out of USC, currently plays for the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
What a sick name, dude. Are you
I,
kidding me? And his brother's name's Equanimous St. Brown. That's like the coolest two names in the NFL.
And they have a podcast, the two brothers.
That's cool.
So
All right, well, I think that wraps it up for the
Yep.
NFL. I like your names. I hope you like mine.
I like your names as well.
Drop some comments down below if you think you have some better names. All right, let's go to CFB, college football. The
Sure.
official first week of college football started. And, I mean, boy, there was a lot of high-scoring games. Our two favorite teams, we're not going to talk about this week because they played absolutely nobodies. They played,
OH.
yeah, and go Dogs, UGA. Unfortunately, yeah, they just killed the teams they played because they didn't really play anyone.
Yeah.
But the biggest game of this week, I think, was USC versus LSU in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium.
Totally.
USC, led by Miller Moss, had a game-winning touchdown drive in the final seconds of the game. Miller Moss took him all the way down the field, and their running back just ran it up to the gut for them to win 27-20 in Las Vegas.
Game. Really
Miller
good
Moss had 378 yards and one touchdown.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly, head coach at LSU, had this to say about Miller Moss. He said that he outplayed our quarterback. And, you know, he was really upset. He kind of pitched a fit. He slammed the table. He was like, our quarterback, you know, he didn't play good. Our team sucked. And, you know, their quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, had 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
Yeah, I mean, he was good.
I think
he had a great game.
That's still
and
a good
it was
game.
a great game. It came down to the final possession.
Yeah.
If you want to tell somebody to stop doing something on your team, tell Lacey to put the machine gun down. All right? We're not in O-block.
He was spraying,
all right?
bro.
Jeez, bro. And then he doubled up on the sidelines.
He didn't finish the clip.
If
That
you
was
finna
why.
do that, you better be the next Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, and guess what? He probably will be.
Yeah.
That guy's a dog.
That catch was crazy he made. Look, man, I think it was a great game. I think you agree with me. We were talking a little bit about this before the show. As a head coach, I don't think you can talk about your players like that. Your players put it all out on the line. That's a team loss. That's not just on one guy. Your defense kind of lost you the game. Your offense probably could have done a little bit more, especially in the run game. They had to bring John Emery, the 5th-year running back, out into the game, and he started to, you know, actually put the running game on his back. I think he averaged like 6 yards a carry once they put him in the game. Former high school standout. But, I mean, I don't think you can just trash your team like that. I mean, that's also a loss on you. If your team's not hyped up, that means you're not hyping the team up as the head coach.
It was incredibly immature of him to do that. And if someone does that, that means they're the one at fault. I'm sorry, they're too much of a coward to take the blame themselves. And that was one of the problems I had with Zach Wilson when he was on the Jets. He would blame other people, at least in that one interview. And then he started to grow maturity. For instance, how he reacted to not being named the starting quarterback. Zach Wilson, I've seen him make some major strides in levels of maturity, but Brian Kelly,
I mean, this is a guy who's
a
head
veteran
coach
head coach. He's
at
been around the block.
at one of the most prestigious
great resume.
one of the most prestigious programs in
Notre Dame?
college football, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So how do you go from that to another prestigious program in LSU?
Well, look, this is what the third year in a row he's lost an opener. I think it was piling up, and ultimately the way he reacted should have been on his couch at home, not in front of 20 reporters.
Yeah.
But if that is how he's acting, then
What's he
that's
like in the
ugly.
locker
What's he
room?
like in the locker room? What's he like at practice in 95-degree heat?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Anyway, he's looking at me over here while I'm like this, and he's licking his chops. He would put me through the ringer. I'll tell you that. Anyway, I just thought this was interesting. A narrow defeat by number 3 Oregon. They took down the unranked Idaho Vandals by 24-14. Oregon, Big Ten. They're in the Big Ten now, which means they're playing Ohio State this year. So they're playing some big dogs now that they're in the Big Ten. I just think it was just a bit of a surprise. I thought the spread would have been a lot larger. I thought Oregon was really going to come out and just, they've got Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. Idaho Vandals, nothing to write home about. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not going to talk too much about Colorado beating NDSU because they only beat them by 5. How good that team is and how much coverage they get, they should have blown that team out of the water.
100%.
But I want to talk about how the Steelers have looked absolutely awful during the preseason, and they begrudgingly named Russell Wilson their quarterback, who him and Justin Fields had kind of mediocre preseasons. I saw a mock draft the other day saying that the Steelers are going to take Shedeur number 1, and the second worst team in the NFL, which apparently is going to be the New England Patriots, are going to take Travis Hunter. And that'd be pretty cool. But my thing is, like, I don't see Travis Hunter playing both ways in the NFL.
Well, C.J. Gardner-Johnson doesn't as well.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine, a former FSU player, and he's saying that you just can't do that when you get to the NFL. The guys are more physical. You play harder. It's just unlikely. I think the last guy to do that was, Charles Woodson. When he played at Michigan, he played both ways, and he came to the NFL and turned into a cornerback. And I think that's what Travis Hunter's going to do. I think he should just stick to the defensive side of the ball. Although he's great on both sides, I think he could probably make a higher impact as a cornerback.
I don't think he will play both ways, but I think he can.
Look
at Shohei Ohtani.
Maybe if they limit...
I know it's a different sport, but look at Shohei Ohtani.
And look at the toll it's taken on his body. 2, 3 Tommy Johns?
I'm just telling you, man. Shohei Ohtani's inspired a generation of baseball players. There's guys every draft. There's more and more two-way players. Okay,
I'm not disagreeing.
There's more
with you.
and more two-way players. I say do it as long as you can until you can. I know it's taking a toll on Travis Hunter's body, but if he's really good at both, why don't you do both?
Maybe
it's an incredible story.
Maybe
it's
if you
incredible.
limit his snap count
on defense or
on offense on one of them, I would understand. But I just don't think he can consistently play both sides.
He'll have to ultimately pour all his eggs into one basket at the NFL level when it starts to get serious. I agree.
Yeah. Well, something really notable, U of A wide receiver Tetaraya McMillan had 304 receiving yards versus the New Mexico Lobos. I mean, dude, that's insane. First day of college, way to just set a name for yourself. That's the big
304
man on campus. They're throwing a Tetaraya McMillan party at U of A this weekend. I know that's for sure.
Yeah, for real. Let
me get the invite to the Addy, please.
Exactly.
Final thing to mention?
Yeah, I'll mention it. I'll tell you who's not partying this week. Furman University, after losing to Ole Miss 76-0. That's rough. At what point do you look at your coach and be like, hey, look, I got to go study for biology. I'm going to leave the third quarter early. At what point does the tight end stop blocking for his quarterback? Probably at 40-0.
Yeah, were they in Furman or were they in Oregon?
I don't know.
I mean, dude,
Ole Miss, Mississippi.
Oh, Ole Miss. Okay, if they were in Ole Miss, man, that was a terrible bus ride back. I'm sorry, or plane ride, whatever you took, whatever transportation you took, Furman. I apologize. That bus ride must have been terrible on the way home.
Yet another reason why top-ranked teams should not be playing lower Division 1 schools. It doesn't make sense.
So our two teams
exactly.
as well? Yeah.
Well, you guys played ranked Clemson. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I don't know why
Clemson.
we're playing the Akron Zips. I'd rather play.
Oh, you played Akron? I thought you played
Yeah.
Glendale Community College.
Oh, shut up.
All right. Well, I think that I'll shut up. So that does it all for us this week on From the Sidelines. I'm Cullen Mac Vientos.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio, Travis Hunter.
And we'll see you guys next week.